Republic Act 9165, an act instituting the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002.
Is drugs. Drugs are any chemical that will affect the body. They are taken into the body in a number of ways and will bring about changes in the body's normal functioning.
Marijuana and shabu are the top two dangerous drugs of choice of Filipino lifetime users aged 10 to 69 years old. Marijuana is a mixture of dried, shredded leaves, stems, seeds, and flowers of the hemp plant Cannabis sativa. Shabu is a pills with a mixture of methamphetamine and caffeine prevalent throughout Asia.
Drugs affect your body's central nervous system. They affect how you think, feel, and behave. The three main types are depressant, hallucinogens, and stimulants. Depressants or depress slow the function of the central nervous system. They slow the messages going to and from your brain. It affects your concentration and coordination and slow your ability to respond to situations. Hallucinogens distort your sense of reality. You may see or hear things that are not really there, or see things in a distorted way. Stimulants or stimulate speed the central nervous system. They speed up messaging to and from the brain, making you feel more alert and confident.
Harmful effects of drugs in physical. Drug use can affect short or long-term health outcomes. Some of these health outcomes can be serious and possibly irreversible.
It can result in a variety of debilitating health problems.
How can drugs affect my mental health? Having sudden mood changes, having a negative outlook on life, loss of motivation, depression, anxiety, problems with relationship and being secretive. Social. Drug addiction doesn't just affect the addict. It has a far-reaching effect which encompasses family, friends, employers, healthcare professionals, and society as a whole. If you are addicted to alcohol, nicotine, drugs, or even caffeine, then the effect of this can negatively impact upon the following. Marriage or relationship, home or family life, education, employment, health and well-being, personality, financial issues, and law and order.
Seven main reasons why people use drugs. First, addiction as a result of a medical issue. Frequent or long-term prescription drug use could increase dependency to certain drugs. Dependence usually comes as a result of a prolonged illness or treatment of a disease that requires addictive prescription drugs. Second, self-medication. Individuals who self-medicate are at higher risk of abusing and becoming dependent on drugs. Some people may suffer from a mental illness or may have self-esteem problems. Instead of getting diagnosed and treated properly by a doctor, some patients may use drugs to try to cope on their own. Third, family history or family stress. Someone who comes from a family that uses and abuses drugs is more likely to become dependent. Genes may very well play an important role in a person's drug use or non-use. And in some cases, there are stressful situations in a family that can become a cause for drug use. Fourth, influence. The environment also plays an important role in the development of one's addiction. One of the most common reasons why people succumb to drugs is that they are influenced either directly or indirectly by other people. Peer pressure. At an age when most young people want to belong, the risk of using and later becoming dependent on drugs is usually at its highest. The encouragement from friends and colleagues may not be that aggressive, but it's usually enough reason for someone who wants to fit in. Sixth, emotional instability. Past trauma, emotional issues, and untreated psychological problems often drive people to turn to drugs to cope. Certain drugs can also create a false sense of security, power, and confidence. Drugs allow them to escape a state where they feel in control. Lastly, the seventh reason, stress. One of the most overlooked reasons why people abuse drugs is their inability to cope with stress, usually as a result of a highly demanding workplace. Some types of drugs allow users to focus well, become more confident and sociable, and even boost their creativity. When you quit drugs with the right solution, you'll see improvements throughout your life.
Benefits of recovery. Number 1. More energy. You will have more energy throughout the day. Once you are fully detoxed and living a recovered life, you'll spend less energy worrying about everything.
Number 2, daily structure. Daily structure routines can help us set our day off right, and it can help us be more productive and happier. Number 3, achieve daily goals. Achieving goals helps you feel fulfilled and gives you more self-confidence.
Number 4. Enhance work ethic. When you're firing on all cylinders, achieving goals with more energy, you have more to offer to your employer and to yourself. Number 5. Healthy relationships. While goals and work ethic increase, your relationships with friends and family members will get better too. And
Number 6, meditative. Throughout your day, you became more contemplative, you think more deeply about what you can contribute to life, and you're more conscious of how you treat others and yourself.
Prevention is itself cure to drugs.
What is the role of prevention? Prevention addresses the root causes behind drug use, protects our families and young people, and stop addiction before it starts.
Sources of awareness.
How to say no to drugs. Refusal skill number 1 is to say no to being there. 2. Say no and walk away. 3. Say no and give a reason. 3. Say no clearly and strongly. And lastly, Say no over and over.
Prevention programs often are designed to enhance protective factors and to reduce risk factors. Protective factors are those associated with reduced potential for drug use. On the other hand, risk factors are those that make drug use more likely.
Top 5 ways to avoid using dangerous drugs. First, find effective ways to handle peer pressure. Human beings have a habit of not wanting to be left out, and especially by their friends and peers. If you find yourself in such a situation, try finding the courage to say no. Second, find better coping mechanisms. A good number of people who abuse drugs do so as a coping mechanism to the negative things they're facing in life. Instead of turning to drugs for solace, find better ways of dealing with them. Third, choose your circle of friends carefully. Making friends plays a major role in your overall health and well-being. However, you need to choose your friends wisely, as socializing with the wrong crowd can easily lure into drug abuse. Fourth, always allow yourself some alone time. If you feel ill and take an emergency break today from all your responsibilities, nothing will come to a standstill. So instead of sacrificing your happiness and risk getting physical and mental illnesses, consider taking time off and take care of your well-being. Lastly, which is the fifth way to avoid using dangerous drugs, is to analyze any possible risk factors. Having prior knowledge of any possible drug abuse risk factors makes it easy for you to overcome them. Addiction destroys everything in its path. Getting out of the way is the most loving form of detachment you can practice.